Welcome to the Petty Outdoors Podcast. All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Petty Outdoors Podcast. It's our first one in a while. We are missing Mr. Brian Sweeney, but I do have Evan with me here, and we are going to try to get back in the swing of things.
I hope. We got this whole building built for how long now?
It's been done a while. So the last time that we talked to you guys on a podcast, it was we was in the process of building this whole facility that we have here. And it took longer than we expected to have it built and have everything finished up, but we're finally done with it and couldn't be happier to have it done.
Yeah.
So we got everything finished inside, got it insulated, got all the table built, and it's been done for, 6-8 months now?
6-8 months, but it's been used for 6 or 8 months. It ain't been sitting. We've used it as bow shops.
Oh, man, yeah.
It's been used.
We went straight from podcasts full-blown every week, as many as we could do when we had time, to we ain't done one in forever. And there's good reason behind that, I believe.
There's a really good reason, I feel like. They'll forgive us for a little while, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, we as soon as we got done with the podcast and the studio got finished, we just went straight into archery.
Yep.
Something we've never been into. I mean, we've always hunted. You have, and actually, you've never hunted with a bow up until, 2 years ago?
2 years ago. There's a crossbow, too.
Crossbow, yeah. So, yeah, we went straight into archery. We shot ASA this season. I feel like I done pretty good. I through the regular season, I was holding second all year to a good dude, Mr. Jeremy Reed. He's gonna be hard to beat, man.
He's gonna be hard to beat, real hard.
But I held second to him, and for never doing it and not knowing what I wanted and not knowing what to expect, I feel like I was happy with my year. What do you think?
I'd have been happy with my year, too, if I was shooting like you.
I shot pretty good, but now I feel like going into next year, if I decide to shoot ASA again, I will do a lot better.
I definitely think you should.
My first, 4 or 5 tournaments I've done, I was just learning the process and how everything
That was
worked.
our practice year.
Right. But we had fun with it. When we went into it, we said that we were going to use it as a learning process for deer hunting. And man, going into this season, I'm so much more confident. It ain't even funny. I'm sure you are too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
really excited.
We got a lot to look forward to this coming season. We're going to try to stay frequent with the podcast. I was actually, what made me want to do podcast again, and I mean, we've had all this sitting here, but what gave me the drive to get out here and do this was our good buddies at Timberwolf Archery and Outdoors.
Yep.
They started their own podcast, and they're just, they're into everything.
Yeah, they're into absolutely everything.
Yeah, they stay busy. They're always out there. They're always helping everybody. And they got into that podcast stuff, man. This sounds wonderful.
Really good.
They're
consistent.
Is it All Around Outdoors?
It's All Around Outdoors.
All Around Outdoors. It's on Spotify. I do believe they're going to do video podcasts as well coming here soon. So get on there and check them out. That's our buddies, Mr. Britt Franks and Sam, up at Timberwolf Archery and Outdoors. Great people here in Rockville, Tennessee, not too far from our hometown of Chapel Hill. But they can take care of any of your archery and outdoor needs. They bowstrings, arrows, about anything you need, huh?
Broadheads. Literally anything bow-related. Releases.
Yeah. But as we've heard on their last 2 podcasts, this is their first 2, but that's their last 2 as well. Yeah. They are urging you, if you are getting into archery or if you're an avid hunter, if you need new strings, if you need new arrows, now is the time to do it.
Don't wait.
I think they said they were 8 days out on strings and cables. Right
8 days out. Yep.
So if you're needing cables, needing strings, arrows, anything done with your bow, now would be the time to do it. We've got about 2-3 weeks left before season starts here in Tennessee.
Yep.
So now's the time to go do that. They will get you taken care of.
Yep. Good people. Great people.
Oh yeah, don't get no better. Leading into that, they are the reason that we got into archery like we did.
Yep.
100%. I think how it started, you and Brian went up there and watched the tournament on Friday night, one night.
The first time I ever went down there, I needed arrows for
That's right,
an old bow I had.
That's right.
Which, I mean, old. It was only like 3 years old. But I needed arrows, and these are not the original owners. They bought the company from another owner. And when I went there, they still had the old owners. Still really nice people. But then Britt and them, they bought out Timberwolf, and Brian, he has been down there. He was down there before we actually got into archery.
He was the first one that went down there, didn't he?
With Britt as owner, yeah.
I thought he went before Britt.
I'm not. He probably did, honestly.
I can't remember.
I can't either. But we figured out that they started doing Friday night tournaments at what time? 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock every Friday.
7 o'clock every Friday. So me and Brian, I thought we went for Kevin because we were like, he had to stay home and watch the kids, and we were just very curious of what was going on, and we went down there, and it ended up being a really good tournament.
And I think was it the next week that I went up there with y'all? We shot the first time?
Yep. We scouted out 1 week on one Friday, and then the very next Friday we went in there shooting.
And that was in December of last year, so December 2023.
Yep.
And now, I don't know if you can see it here on the camera. No, you can't see it, but we've got our ceiling here, and
he has a ceiling here.
I've been fortunate enough to win a few tournaments up there.
You want to count how many there are?
Let's not count them. I'm not trying to be boastful. Anyway, we've religiously went up there every single week, and I feel like if you put that much time into something, you will eventually succeed at it. And I've just pushed really hard to get better. And I've managed to win a few tournaments, and I've just learned a lot in archery. I've learned from all the people up there. I mean, from top to bottom, everybody up there is grade A people. I mean, just you can't find better folk.
Okay.
But that leads us into how we got into the archery. So we done that, went up there, started shooting every Friday night, and we got to hearing them talking about ASA. It was indoor season then, and we got to hearing them talking about ASA, and so when they started talking about that, I was curious. Excuse me?
Yeah, my bad.
I'm going to turn my phone down because I'm sure it'll go off between now and then. I didn't think about that. We got to hear them talking about ASA, and we were curious, so we looked into it, and next thing you know, me, you, and Brian are all shooting for ASA, state outdoors shoots. So we done that all year. What do we get? We got 6 or 8 in.
Yeah.
6 or 8 tournaments.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So like I said, I stayed second most of the year, and then it come down to the state championship, and I wasn't able to make it, unfortunately. But it would have been hard to beat Jeremy Reed anyway.
You're a couple points behind him.
He's got it figured out.
He does. I have a question though.
All right.
I think these people would want to ask it too, but nobody. I mean, anybody can join this. This is not. You have to have top of the line equipment. We have amazing equipment. I don't want to lie, but it's not. There's definitely better equipment that we can buy, but for us, it's all we need. I started off with a bow that you gave me.
Right, yeah.
It was a bone collector.
It was a bone collector, yep.
I love that bow, but I needed a new one. In reality, it only went to 60 pounds, and I already had it maxed out. I was like, I need something bigger, and I hunted for that for a little bit, for probably a week or two, because I had time to practice and everything, but I wasn't able to hunt much. And then for Christmas, my mom and dad bought me a Bowtech. What was it? Elite.
It was a Bowtech. I don't want to tell a lie. I don't remember the exact model.
I don't either, but it's a Bowtech, and I'm not trying to diss Bowtech or nothing. They make amazing bows. They really do. But this one in particular, I was out in the yard. We were at a tournament, weren't we, when it blew up?
Was it a tournament? Yeah, because you shot my bow, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to shoot it for a shoot-off. We'll get to that.
You're exactly right.
And I was in the middle of a tournament. It was the last round. I literally had one more arrow to go. And I shot. The bow made a stupid clicking sound. Then it shot, and then the bow flew into like 15 pieces. And it would have been fixable. It is fixable now. My brother shoots it actually. But I was just scared because I was shooting at 70 pounds at the time. And I feel like after that, I'd scared the limbs or something was going to be shattered or something else go wrong with it. And so Kevin, the eBay master over here, he got on eBay and found a PSC XF 30. 30?
Yep.
That it could have been a better investment. I have shot this bow so many times. Brian, he shot what did he shoot?
Brian shot, his was a high country. It was an old bow.
High country old bow.
Yeah, it was really old.
And then before he started shooting tournaments, he got, I got stuff messed up.
The first thing that happened was, I believe, you got your bow for Christmas, and it was a diamond edge.
That edge, yep.
By Bowtech. Bowtech makes them, yeah. And you got that for Christmas, and I think not long after you got that, I bought that PSE.
He was the first one to buy PSE.
Right, yep. And then when I bought that,
Brian got handed down your
I handed
Bowtech.
Brian my Bowtech, which was a Bowtech Carbon Knight.
That bow's still going strong.
Oh yeah, it's a heck of a bow. And Bowtech makes a great bow, but that particular bow that you got, and I've never seen a bad review on Bowtech up until.
I haven't either.
And you got that bow, and it's the modules that they put on there.
They're plastic.
They're plastic.
If they would put metal modules on it, it would be an amazing, amazing bow. Yeah. It's really just a beginner's bow. It really wasn't supposed to be really used like we were using it. We were baiting it. I hunted with that. Like, it was shot thousands of times. Right. Guarantee it. But I guess you really get what you pay for. It was a cheaper bow when we bought it. And, I couldn't ask for anything better. It's the bow that actually, I don't know if y'all could see them. Probably not. But there's two Robin Hoods up here. One of them is mine, one of them's Kevin's. And actually, the day I bought it, it was on Christmas. And not an hour after I bought it, I have done Robin Hooded at an arrow. I came inside, and I was like, I done it. I done everybody.
I've shot bows all my life, pretty much. Not competitively, but I've shot hunting bows my whole life, and I've never done that.
Yeah, and then we were in a tournament, and this was during Christmas time, too. It was during the winter.
Yep.
Because it was a snow shoot. Mm-hmm. We were snowed in. Well, we weren't really snowed in. We were able to get to the archery shop. And we were shooting. We had, 3D targets set up and stuff. They have some really cool shoots.
Timberwolf's got it figured out.
Yeah, they do.
They've got the tournaments figured out.
Yeah, 100%. And we're all shooting at these targets, and we hear a big boom. We're like, okay, arrow smacking. Great. And we go down to score our targets, and there's an arrow sticking about 20 inches the wrong way. And we go up there, and it seems to be that Kevin has Robin Hooded my arrow with his arrow. So what I've learned from that was
pretty cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was going to be hard to beat.
Yep.
But what I've learned from that is don't shoot in the same spot he's about to shoot, because your arrow's going to be gone.
Well, I seen that you made a pretty good shot, so I figured I'd just
have some name at.
Yeah. Yeah, man, you figured that stuff out quick.
Yeah.
So the very first time that you even shot a full size compound bow was what, 2 years ago?
Not even.
Not even 2 years.
It's been like a year and a half. And
now you're getting to where you can shoot high 140 5-spot target or 5-spot tournaments.
Last Friday, yeah.
Yeah, 2 days ago.
Yeah, shot a 148, And then the Friday after that, we weren't here then because we were in Gatlinburg. Then the Friday before we went to Gatlinburg, I shot a 149. So I'm trying to do my best, and I'm trying to get to that 150.
Yeah, and in the grand scheme of things, when we went into it, we all agreed that we were going to do it to get better for deer hunting.
And we all have.
Oh man, we're so far ahead of what we were back a year and a half ago. It's not even funny. I did, however, buy a tournament bow along the way.
Another eBay find.
Another eBay find.
Timberwolf hates us for that.
They do, and I hate about it. I would love to spend my money there, but I'm such a bargain hunter.
How much was that bow? Like $400?
So it's a PSE Supra XL. It was, what was it, 3 something?
It was cheap.
It was super cheap, and it was very, very lightly used. The only reason I got it as cheap as I did because of the color.
Yep, it was
a funny color.
It was. If you've ever looked at like a hippie type thing, where you think of colors of hippies, that like it was just colorful and just weird, really. Then, well, we have pictures posted on Facebook and Instagram. I'm sure of it, and we painted it. What is that? Just green, like
it's
army,
like a military green.
Military green. It's really sexy, honestly, and I've officially stolen that bow from him. Not officially, but I'm shooting for the Timberwolf Archery's team, and that's the bow I'm going to be shooting for it. It's the most accurate bow I've shot in a long time. You put the sight on it, it's going right there.
So tell us a little bit, now that you've brought that up, tell us a little bit about what you're expecting of your first year ever shooting in that.
In the team?
Yeah.
Indoor or outdoor? There's both. What
are your expectations for your indoor season is coming up right now? So what are your expectations for this season?
I've never done anything like this. I mean, I've shot the tournaments and stuff, but these are, you travel and you go to different places in Tennessee and shoot. So I don't really know what to think. I ain't thought of it much. I guess I'm just kind of going in it blind. But I'm really excited because it's kind of out of my comfort zone a little bit, because I'm really just used to shooting these small, like, just independently owned tournaments. And I mean, we went to 3D tournaments, but I just feel like
you're around people all the time that you're used to.
Yeah, it's going to be different for me shooting with not higher, but like better shooters than me. I mean, Timberwolf, Daphne, Lane, all the people that are in the team as well, they're like, it's going to be hard to catch up with them. It really is.
Oh, you got your work cut out for you.
Yeah, I got my work cut out for me.
But I will say this, if you put your mind to it and you go into it and just have fun, man, the success will come naturally.
I have faith.
I do. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I would bet you by the time the end of this season comes along, you will be on top somewhere.
I hope. I surely do.
I mean, right now you're competing with the adults up there every Friday night.
Yeah.
And you're podium every Friday night just about.
Yeah.
And you ain't got but a couple points, you'd be beating on my door here real soon. But it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna go to as many tournaments as I possibly can with you, just to kind of ride your shirt tail a little bit, and see what you got going on. But we're gonna get you fixed up. We put the Spot Hog sight on there. You're shooting the Pins division, right?
Pins division, which means you have to have you can't say you have a sight that moves and you just have one pin that sticks up and you can move it. That's not allowed. You have to keep your sight on one position at all times.
You can have a movable sight, but you cannot move it.
But you cannot move it at all. So what we've done is we've put a 2-pin technically sight on that bow so I can shoot an indoor, because indoor it's one range and that's it. You ain't moving. You're
just 20 yards.
20 yards and you're staying there. So we have a really thin pin, and we're just kind of we're playing with fire really, because we have everything to the exact specs that you're supposed to, the max specs that you can have.
12-inch stabilizer front and back. And we've got them set close.
What do you remember the measurements?
Yeah,
11 and like 3/4 or something.
No, it's 11 and 7/8 on both
7/8
both bars, and you're allowed 12 inches.
So we're playing with fire.
And we found a few gray areas in the rule book that we're going to play with a little bit.
Couple.
We won't speak on it, but
no, you have to figure that one out. Kevin,
right.
On the way to Gatlinburg, actually, he read the whole ASA rule book.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's what it's about. Everybody's trying to find any kind of edge that they can find. So if you can get in that rule book and you can read it,
no different than NASCAR.
That's
NASCAR,
exactly right.
Football, anything that they can find, they're going to use.
That's exactly right. You want to be legal, but you want to push as hard as you can.
Yep.
And get as much of an advantage as you can get.
100%.
So that ought to be fun. Moving on, let's see, what else have we not talked about since the last podcast? Oh, I know, a big one sitting right here in front of us. The -1 cover scent.
Oh,
I don't think we've talked
heard about it.
I mean,
they've definitely heard about it.
I'm sure everybody's heard about it by now that follows our Facebook or whatnot, but we haven't talked about it on a podcast.
Yeah, I never thought about that. We've had a couple design changes though, just on the bottom. The product has not changed.
Yeah, the product is something that I've worked on for
years.
Well, I mean, on and off for 5 years now, probably. But this final product is something that we've been on and stuck on for the last 3 years now?
3 years, yeah.
This is the third year.
Well, technically, we've really just started selling it a year ago. Like, really, we've put it into businesses type selling. We've used it in our own personal situations for hunting. Probably for 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
Small batch, just us.
Yep. And we still do small batch. Everything I do is a gallon at a time.
Yep.
It's all mixed exactly the same. And it is top notch.
We have it sold, what is it, Chapel Hill Outdoors?
Chapel Hill Outdoors.
Timberwolf.
Timberwolf Archery and Outdoors. We'll have to put a pin of their address in the
description.
Yeah. But yeah, they have it on. So if you're local, that's where we want you to get it from. Go to Timberwolf, go to Chapel Hill Outdoors, get it there. If you're not local, you can message us on Facebook at Petty Outdoors or at -1 Cover Scent or Instagram. Same 2 tags. And we can get it to you one way or another. It is top of the line. You're not going to find a better cover scent.
No.
What is your... Okay, this is a funny story, speaking of the cover scent. We also played with attractants last year.
Oh, God, I don't want to talk about it. That was the funniest stuff ever.
So we played with attractants last year. We had apple and we had acorn.
Apple and acorn.
The apple,
didn't we have cedar? We had a cedar cover scent at one point.
I'm still playing with the cedar.
Still playing with it?
Yeah, it's not gone completely. I still have it, and I'm still working on it, but I'm not offering it right this second. Right. But last year, the apple cover scent, or the apple attractant,
it works.
Put us in a funny situation.
Oh yeah, we were. It's on video. The deer's on video. Isn't ours on video too?
I don't think I've shared it, but I do have a video.
We do have a video of it.
Yeah.
And it's the same field. Brian shot 2 does out of self-filming. That's filmed too.
That's on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, that's on YouTube. But it's that same field that I killed my 2 bucks in this year.
That we're fixing to get to here.
We're going to get to that. But I've killed 2 of the biggest deer of my life. The biggest deer in my life in that field. But that's not what we're talking about this time. Or at this moment. Me and Kevin were hunting. What was it? Rifle season? Muzzleloader?
It was. I believe it would have been muzzleloader season, right?
It was something around that.
Yeah, I can't remember.
We definitely had bows.
We had firearms because we was in that cage stand. Yeah.
It may have been pre-rut, but we had a spike 4-point?
It was a small buck.
It was really small, whatever it was, buck. And we got in there and we sprayed some apple spray onto our wooden post that we have right there.
As soon as we got in the stand.
Yeah, as soon as we got in there. And our wind was blowing behind us.
Which was a terrible wind.
Yeah, it was really terrible.
But it was great for what happened.
We really were testing out the cover scent and the spray.
Right.
And we started hearing something walking behind us. Not even walking. He was kind of like...
Let me stop you. When I sprayed it, I said about 5 minutes we'll have a deer standing up under us. And we laughed.
He laughed, but he kept his word. And we looked behind us, and there's this deer with his nose up, he was tracking it. He wanted it.
He was walking with his nose in the air.
He wasn't caring about eyesight. He was going to where the smell was. And this Dumbo right here, we weren't planning on shooting this deer. He was way too small. We were going to let him live. And so he decides to grab the apple, the spray. So we do it. He grabs it and he sprays it in the air. Just uncalled for. Absolutely uncalled for. He sprays it and goes, tsk, and I don't know what was funny about it, but we about died.
I figured if he liked it that much, we'd give him a little more.
A little bit more?
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually really stupid thinking of it now, but in reality, that was the funniest thing you've done in a hot minute.
We like to try to have a good time while we're in the stand.
Yeah.
Especially when me and you get together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've killed mouse. We in the middle of hunting season, we were in a blind. We were in our little what was it, box blind?
Yep.
We can consider it shooting house in the back field, and we got tired of this mouse being up in the ceiling. This is all on film too. Most of the dumb stuff we do is pretty much on film.
We don't share a lot of it.
We don't share a lot of it though, but.
Maybe we should.
Maybe we comment or tell us if you want us to make some sort of bloopers, funny video, and just put all the weird and stupid stuff that we've done on camera onto YouTube. But we got tired of a mouse being in the ceiling of this shooting house. It's all insulated. It's very nice, and so
there's a tarp. Tarp on the ceiling.
There's a tarp.
Yeah.
We have it all blacked out so they can't see shadows. And it looks like a professional built it. It really does. But there ended up being a mouse problem, and it started chewing through all the insulation in the ceiling and side and stuff. So after we got done hunting one day, Kevin was like, let's go sit in this stand for a minute. And I said, okay. And we get in there, and the mouse starts scratching away. He's on the ceiling, though. That's a big part of the story. Big part. And he was right next to a stud, too. Keep that in mind, too.
You can't see the studs,
You can't see it, but you could start seeing him walk on the mat. So Kevin gets tired of him and stands up, and he's a UFC fighter. He thinks he is. And I guarantee you know where this is going. But he starts throwing lefts and rights, uppercuts at this mouse. And you remember the stud I was talking about? He couldn't have hit it more square. You could hear the thud from a mile away. There wasn't no deer in the county after that. He about cried like a little girl. And, I mean, he got the mouse eventually. He did get it. But was it worth about breaking your knuckles for it?
Well, let me put it this way. I ain't never in my life made contact like that and not hurt something. So, when I hit, I knew something was solid in there. But I'm pretty sure that there might have been a finger that might have been cracked or something. I caught it good.
Oh, he did. He did.
But I got the mouse.
You get the mouse, and after that, we ended up going in there and tearing every bit of insulation out. Yep. It's not tarped anymore. I mean, we could all go back in there, but it's really not. It's so airtight and stuff now. You really don't even need insulation in it. It stays pretty warm.
Yeah.
We throw a heater or two in it.
We've got those little propane heaters, and
that's all we really need.
All that tarp and stuff done was held mice and wasps and whatnot. So we got rid of it. But
yep.
Yeah, comment below if you want us to share some of that stuff. I think it's pretty funny. We've got a lot of little short videos like that where we do odd stuff for whatever reason.
Like me drinking cover scent.
Yeah, I didn't get that on video, but that one just really got me. I mean, like,
don't hand me a bottle of water on an 80-something degree day.
I'll tell this story. So
I don't know if I want you to.
I'm going to. I don't care if you want me to or not. So we were going to do something. What were we going to do?
It's 90 degrees outside, and we were about to go outside, and it was right before this velvet season, and we were about to go clear out some, shooting paths. I got a saddle.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And I was about to go clear out some shooting paths because I'm about to go kill a big old deer, And so we go out there. He picked me up. We didn't have Brian in the truck yet. And
hold on, you're not telling it right.
You tell it, dude.
You're not. You're leaving a strong part of it out.
I'm leaving it out then for a reason.
He called me, or maybe you texted me. I can't remember.
You called me and asked if I wanted to go.
Yeah, I called you and asked if you wanted to go.
Then I asked him to bring a bottle of cover scent for me to put in the washer because my clothes smell like.
He said, "Bring me some cover scent so I can wash my clothes with it. You're just gonna pour it in there."
Yeah.
Well, hearing that, I didn't figure you wanted a spray bottle, so I
Well, I
just
figured
poured
he's gonna be a
some.
nice guy because I didn't have none left.
I just poured some in a water bottle. I mean, it's obviously not water. Okay, it's got
I'm
a
used to
tint
having
it.
white Gatorade packets. Okay.
Well, you ought to know I don't do Gatorade packets.
Well, I thought you were being bougie.
But anyway, I bring in this water bottle that's clearly not water, and he gets in the truck, and I said, "Here you go," and I handed it to him, and I said,
He said, "Nope, no, don't finish that." He said, "Here you go." It was 90-something degrees outside. He hands me a water bottle, okay, and then 5 minutes down the road, he says, "What are you gonna do with that cover scent?" Okay,
Yeah, and this
I
is
didn't
before he drank
figure he handed me a water bottle full of -1. So you can go ahead and finish them. I just wanted to make that very
So
clear.
I handed him this water bottle full of -1, and right before he takes a big swig of it, I said, "What are you going to do with that cover scent?" And he said, "I'm going to wash my." And about that time, he takes a drink. He's taking it off, taking the top off as he's talking. So I'm thinking he's going to smell it. I don't really know. He takes a drink of this cover scent, and when I say a drink, he don't just sip it.
I did take a sip.
You was thirsty.
I wasn't that thirsty. I
So,
was testing it.
with that being said, there's been tons and tons of good reviews on how it does in the deer woods.
I
And
give
there's
it
been a
5
lot of
star, and it
people-
tastes pretty good
That's
too. I
my
don't suggest you taste it, but just smell it, and that's really what it tastes like.
So let me ask you
It's
this:
not bad.
how long was it after you drank the cover scent that you realized that you didn't have bad breath still?
About 2 seconds after.
Okay. So and how long did it last?
About 3 days.
Probably so. And there's some ingredients in that I told you could possibly make you sick.
But it didn't.
I can read it from right here where I'm sitting. At the bottom of that bottle, it says for external use only.
But I didn't see that logo until after I done drunk it.
Okay. Well, we'll move right along out of that one. Anyway,
Please?
if anybody's curious as to what -1 cover scent tastes like,
Dirt.
I've got your guy right here. Just give him a shout.
I'm all the people tell me, what does -1 taste like?
Right. Yeah.
Hey, but also it does cover the smell of skunk really well.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Joey Taylor took care of that for us.
Joey,
didn't he?
yep.
His dog or
his
something
dog
got
got sprayed by a skunk, and they had to give him a bath. So he managed to walk in Timberwolf smelling like a skunk. And we were like, here's -1. Take it. Let's test it out. As soon as he sprayed it on there, gone.
And when we say smelling like skunk,
This was strong.
not the devil's lettuce skunk. This is like legitimate.
Yeah.
Got sprayed by a skunk.
Like you went up to a skunk's butthole and smelt it. Bad.
Yeah, it was, and it seemed like it done a pretty good job at
It
covering,
done really well.
which was funny.
Hey, that showed them. They didn't believe it. They
Had to
believed it
believe out
then.
of 'em, yeah. Well, that's one more use. I mean,
Yeah.
the baby threw up in the car seat one day, and we used it to cover the smell of
Yeah,
that.
we did. Y'all did.
You're gonna have to excuse me for just a second. I'm like about to cough on this podcast, so I'm gonna turn my head right here and I'm gonna cough. So you take it
I
over.
seen you awfully just trying
Yeah,
to
take it over for just a second.
take over. There's that. I
Sorry
don't
about
know what to say.
Sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
I'm back.
He's back. He don't look like he's about to barf anymore.
Yeah, I'm good. I've been fighting this for 3 weeks now. I don't know what's going on.
He's got coronavirus or something.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm here.
So, what do you want to go into now? I know you got something good to talk about. Let's talk. I know what we can talk about. Them $2 that you was speaking of. a while
Oh,
ago.
yep, forgot about them. I knew we were forgetting something.
So all last deer season, we didn't talk a podcast at all.
No.
We was all YouTube
Hunting.
and footage and
Yep.
hunting and shooting bows and whatnot. And we didn't do a podcast.
Not at
So
all.
we got to fill them in on the whole deer season, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, there really ain't really that much to go over. We didn't really kill. I mean, we killed we killed the big deer, but we didn't kill many deer. We didn't end up killing any does, I don't think. Did we?
Yeah, I did.
You did. See, doe killer over there.
Yeah.
And
I shot one.
Shot one. Colton and Caden killed 2 deer too, or one deer and 1 deer. They
Yep.
were both small bucks. And Brian killed one in Hickman County.
Yep.
Or Centerville.
Yeah, he killed a wide 6-point in Hickman County.
They were the only deer we killed other than the 2 I killed. Didn't you kill a buck?
I killed a buck with my bow. A
Yeah.
6-point. A wide 6-point.
In
Nothing.
your saddle, wasn't it?
Yep.
So they were that's the deer that's on the cover scent, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So if you get the -1 cover scent, the deer that's on the label of the cover scent is actually the deer that I killed last season using the cover scent, and he was at 10 yards downwind when I made the shot.
Yep. And a little bit off topic, while we're on the cover scent topic at the moment, it fooled a bear. In where?
Yeah, I think it's fooled a couple bears. Britt took it to Canada, I believe, and I think he killed a couple bears with it.
A couple wolves too.
He didn't kill any wolves.
He didn't?
No.
No wolves?
And then a gentleman in Carolina, I don't know if it was North Carolina or South Carolina, I can't remember.
It is one of the two, I don't know the difference.
But he sent in a good review on the cover scent on bears.
Yeah.
But back on topic. Talk about your deer.
About the deer.
The 2 deer you killed.
So them were the only deer we've killed that season. So I let a bunch of deer walk, and I ended up killing 2 deer with 2 different guns. I killed one with a 270. I can't remember exact model it is, but all I know is a 270, and I love the gun to death. And my dad hunted. No, Dad didn't hunt with us that day, did he?
270. What gun are you talking about?
Yeah.
My gun?
It's my gun.
Oh, okay.
The one that Pop let me borrow.
Okay.
That I still have.
I got you.
Then the other deer was with the 7mm.
That's what I was you was talking about. Yeah.
But the first one I killed was with the 270 because I went hunting with the 7mm.
That's right.
It was on Thanksgiving and then the day before Thanksgiving, wasn't it?
That's right.
And the day before Thanksgiving was the day I killed the biggest buck to date. Then
on that particular
day. That's weird to say, but I was just racking my brain for a little bit. I was just thinking. I was into deep thought, and I look up and there's a deer. Where Kevin told me this too. I made sure I kept it in my mind. If you ever see a deer walk in this opening that we're looking in front of, because it's a short opening.
That's at your probably 1 o'clock.
Yeah, it's pretty much straight in front of you almost, and it's pretty narrow. So if you see a deer go through it, they're gonna be going pretty fast, and you ain't gonna have time to stop them. But he said if that happens, because you have one right to your right. There's a lot of rights. But he told me to look over there. If you see him cross right there, that's gonna be your next spot to look. Because there's
get set up over there.
Yeah, because there's one opening in between it, but there's almost never deer down there. There's almost no deer ever go down there. I mean, I kept watch on it at all times, but I was able to take the gun and get it behind the rail, behind the post that we have sitting right there. I was able to get it propped up my arm pretty well. And 1 second, I'm looking at the other opening that I know that we have down there just to be 100% sure nothing's about to come out there. And as soon as I look back, there's a deer staring face to face with me. And he was broadside at how far? 30 yards, 40 yards?
30 yards max.
Yeah. And I was able to squeeze off a really good shot. I wasn't 100% sure we ran at the time, but we ended up getting out of the stand, and I got down. Kevin, who was hunting with us that day? There was another person.
It was me, you, and Brian.
It was Brian?
Yep.
And
Brian was in that chair.
He was in the chair.
Yeah, so our property, when you walk up, one of our properties, when you pass, there's a pond, you go straight past the pond, and there's a little open field. And I had seen a big buck there, 2 weeks before? A week before? So we set up a chair, and Brian got tucked back into some weeds, and he was sitting there, which was only about 150 yards from you.
Yep.
So he was sitting there, and then I was on the back side of you. So you was kind of in the middle.
Yeah, I was in the middle. But we made sure everything was safe. There was no way. I mean, there's definitely stuff that could have went wrong if we wanted it to, but we made sure we were in the safest positions possible, and we knew where not to shoot. And this deer luckily stepped out where it was 100% safe to shoot. Mm-hmm. And I was able to squeeze off a shot, and everybody came down there and helped me blood track him. And that didn't take
He didn't run
5 minutes.
50
yards, and we found him. But he had what is the front part called? I don't remember.
His main beam was broken
Main
off.
beam.
Yeah.
It was broke.
About 6 inches of it.
Yeah, it wasn't very much. But we could have fixed it technically because we had pictures of him with it, and then we had him without it. But I just feel like that brings so much character to that deer. And soon we figured out, I guess, why he broke it. how he broke it, which that's my guess how he broke it. So the next day, this is the day my dad hunted with us.
That's right.
And he was pretty much almost in the same area that Brian was in, but he was a little bit closer up to me. He probably wasn't 50 yards from me. And I offered him, I offered him too. He could have killed a humongous deer.
Yeah.
I offered him to come. I said, just come on hunt with me if you want. He said, no, I'm good. You can go by yourself. And I was like, okay. And Kevin goes to the same spot, don't you?
Yep, I was in the backfield, so I was probably a couple hundred yards past you.
Yeah, but my dad was up in a tree stand.
Yep.
And not 5 minutes after I got in the stand on that one, probably even a little bit shorter, probably 3, I literally just got in the stand. And I was turning around and I sat down. And a deer comes running out of the side of the field. We have like a stand or like a box blind that we use for predator hunting a lot. We don't use it anymore. We need to though.
It's in a good spot. It's you have to shoot 200 yards to get anything done out of that. Yeah.
But he comes running out right beside that, and he didn't pass me at 60 yards, but he was going like 60 miles an hour. So I was able to stop him. He was probably 100 yards. I was able to stop him. I was able to get my gun on him, but I wasn't 100% sure if it was a buck or a doe at the moment because everything was so quick. And I was able to look up at his antlers for a second, and I seen he had humongous antlers. I didn't care how many points they were. I just knew they were humongous. So I was able to put one on him, and I was able to squeeze it through, and then he drops. This was with a 7mm too, so about blew the snot out of me because I never shot it before. But I shoot, and he drops. I was like, okay, perfect. There's a great shot, I guess. But in all reality, I shot him in the neck, which could have been me flinching, which it wasn't me flinching because you ended up shooting the gun again, and it was on
the gun was on sight, but no, it was a fast-paced situation.
It was fast, and it wasn't very much farther off where I was gonna shoot him anyways. And he drops, and I start seeing his head moving up and down and just smack in the ground. And this is one of the worst feelings you'll probably ever feel as a hunter. But for me, at least, that I've experienced so far. This deer was sitting there, laying down, suffering because I made a bad shot on him. But I was able to get Kevin. I was able to call Kevin and tell him that I do need to dispatch this deer. I was not able to get a clear shot off on him because he was just down a weird angle for me. He dropped weird. His butt was facing me. And so we needed somebody to get around him.
And he was aware of about where you were.
Yeah.
And it would have been impossible for you to get out of the stand and do it.
Yeah. So I called Kevin, and he managed to get down there pretty quick. He was probably only like 2 minutes, then he was out. Mm-hmm. And then I was able to lead Kevin to where he was. He was able to get another backup shot on him. And I didn't want to look at the deer until my dad got there because I wanted him to experience this with me. But Kevin, he had to go over there and get a little bit closer of a look on how he done with his shot. And he started scaring the fire out of me. He said it was a 9-point. He said it was a 10-point. He kept going up every single time we'd look at him. It ended up going up to like a 13-point. I don't know how he managed to count them numbers.
I don't know if I went that far.
You probably went to a 10-point.
I think I said 9 or 10, yeah.
And I thought I done killed a Tennessee giant, like 200-inch deer. Like I was like, what did I do? He said, Evan, you don't know what you just did. And
well, the reason I said that, it took me years and years of hunting before I could kill anything like that. And it wasn't no giant deer. Absolutely wasn't a giant. But
it's big enough to go to the taxidermist.
For us,
for me,
and your situation, man, that was a good deer. So,
but in my mind, I thought I done caught or shot the biggest deer in the county, state record. Like, I know I didn't do that, but I thought it was huge mongoose. But it ended up being a 100-something inch.
It's probably 115 inch.
115 inch.
Yeah, I mean it's not a giant, and then. A lot of the people that listen to this will probably say, well, why would you even shoot something like that? But they don't understand everything that goes into it and our situation and where we were.
Yeah. We don't.
There's a ton of pressure where we hunt it.
There's so much pressure and we really don't have, like, many big deer. Like this deer that I shot, we never had on camera because it was rut. and we had deer coming in there that we just never seen.
Yep.
Like that deer I killed, that first one, we had him on camera, but then he stopped showing up for a little bit.
Yep.
And then
That's when I
that's when I killed him. We never had pictures of him during rut. He was just in a complete different area.
Yep.
So, in all reality, we just had deer that we never seen. That year we really only had small deer and does on camera, but the does are thriving now.
Be careful.
We have some deer on camera, and
be very careful.
We're excited to go in there, and I feel like all the work we put in last year of letting small deer walk.
Now we'll also add to this.
I'm really trying to be careful with my words.
When I say be careful, keep in mind everybody that's listening.
They don't know.
We have multiple hunting properties.
Multiple, yeah.
So I know what you're what you're thinking when I say be careful and all that. But there's multiple places we hunt. They're all in Tennessee. I'll give you that. But this year we're excited more than we have been.
We have more cameras out than we had.
Yep.
And
put a lot more into it this year.
New spots, and all the deer we've let walk in the past years.
Seeing you trying to navigate this situation is funny.
Because I'm trying to be careful with my words. You're telling me to be careful when you're making me scared, Skater. Oh, God, we're going to have to cut this out.
No, we're not. We're going to leave it.
Okay. But all the deer we've let walk in the years we've hunted, I feel like have led up to this year, and just in general. Like, just we've let small deer walk. We've let nice 7-pointers walk that I would have shot 2 or 3 years ago. He would have shot 2 or 3 years ago. And we've been particular with the deer we've been trying to shoot, and I feel like it has worked for us in the long run. So I'm not saying don't shoot small deer. If it makes you happy, shoot it as many times as you want, whenever you want. If a spike makes you happy, shoot the dang thing, okay?
That's right.
That's what he has told me. This was not a decision I had to make, which I figured it was going to be the best for me. It was going to be best for all of us anyways.
Right.
But if a deer makes you happy and you want to shoot it that bad, take the shot, because there's no better feeling than killing a deer that you're happy with.
That's right.
It don't matter what other people think. If you think that 4-point or whatever you're going to shoot is going to be a good deer for you, shoot it. There's just so much stuff that, I'm just trying to be like mindful of people.
Okay, I'll fix it. I'll fix your situation.
Fix it, yeah.
So this summer, leading up to this velvet hunt, we have been particularly keyed in on a couple different deer.
Yes.
Could be anywhere in Tennessee.
Anywhere.
And it could be multiple places in Tennessee.
Multiple.
However,
we can't see. It's hard, isn't it?
However, we had a situation that happened during the velvet hunt here in Tennessee last weekend.
What's that sound?
Oh, I hear that too. Oh, I think it's the refrigerator up there.
Oh, yeah.
We had a situation happen in the velvet hunt in Tennessee last weekend, and it involved me and one of these deer that I'm talking about. And it's all on footage, and eventually we're hoping we can share it. If everything works out, hopefully we can share it here in the next month or two.
Yep.
And if we
like
can,
we're being like seek one now with the deer he has.
Take it how you want to. That's all I can say.
Yep.
But if we're able to share this, it'll likely change a lot of stuff for us on our page.
Oh, it will.
It could go further than that.
It really could.
But anyway, use your imagination. Use it however you want.
Yeah, this is like just do what you please with the information that we've given you.
Right.
We're not gonna show you this deer until deers. Hey, what's plural deer? Just deer?
It's just deer.
Just deer?
Yeah.
I mean, well, just you'll
We're
figure
not
it
going
out.
to give you any information on what happened,
No information, no
how
clues.
it happened, where it happened, none of that. But just use your imagination, and we hope that we can share this with you in the next month or two. We're not going to talk much about it.
Yeah.
If you don't follow our YouTube page, you might want to go over and follow it. If you're watching this on video, then you obviously already do follow our YouTube page. You might want to click subscribe and click the follow link. That way you get notified when we download videos. Because if this one comes out, it's going to be different.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be different. And it's going to be something that I'll work on for a while before it comes out.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, moving right along.
We've started putting food plots. We've done food plots. What else have we done? Just property wise.
I put in 2 watering holes yesterday.
Yes,
actually,
they were yesterday.
Yesterday, yep. I think it was yesterday. Yesterday or the day before.
Here's one of them.
Watering holes. We've bought more cell cams. We've done multiple things to better the population.
That was another thing we've done. Cell cams, game changer.
Right, and I'm wanting to check my phone right now because I'm wondering if there's anything on there. Should I check it while we're on here?
Should we?
I'm not going to point the phone at the camera
I'm not
or
either.
anything, but let's see. Yeah, there's definitely something on here.
I don't. If we're being quiet, it's because we're trying to, focus a little bit right into the moment.
There is no pictures on
None.
on one set of the trail cams. There
set.
is, however, pictures on the other one.
There is.
Yes, and it is
It's deer.
deer.
We can give you that.
We'll tell you that. It's just deer. Nothing particularly exciting, but it's deer.
Particular.
All
right.
We're missing Brian tonight. Let's talk about that for just a second. Cause
He's the life of the party. I feel like we're being
he
quiet.
makes these things. Yeah,
He does.
we're last minute. I'm a last minute dude.
Last minute.
The way my family is, it has to be that way. It's unfortunate. Well, no, it's not unfortunate. It's fortunate. Yeah. Fortunately, it's that way. But he wasn't able to make it tonight. But he is going to be with us on most of our podcasts. He's just not here tonight.
I feel like we should set dates for this stuff, but we tried that before.
It's so hard to stick with it.
Like we were doing it every other week or something, and that was down the drain within a week.
So let's get into. I feel like we've talked enough about us.
Yeah.
We gave up enough information. We've talked about. We'll fill in the rest of the gaps when Brian comes in with the next one.
Yeah, well,
we won't go into detail on everything, but I want to get on here on TWRA's website and kind of talk about some of the dates and stuff real quick.
I do know that. What's today? The 1st.
Today is the 1st of September. Yeah.
Dove season opened today.
Dove season opened at 12 o'clock.
Yep. 12 o'clock today. We did not end up going dove hunting today. I mean, we really didn't get nowhere to dove hunt in particular. We do have offers of places that we probably will be dove hunting. Possible dove hunts that we could go to.
Yeah, Timberwolf guys said that we could come. Yeah.
And when did squirrel season start? Because I know it's open
squirrel
now.
season is going right now. Let me see. So squirrel is August the 24th. It started.
The 24th.
August 24th, and it runs until March the 15th. And there is a daily bag limit of 10.
10. That's all we need.
And then there's
per person. 10 per person.
That's right.
All right.
Yep. And then spring squirrel runs from May 10th to June the 8th, and there's a daily bag limit of 10 on those as well.
All right. What about armadillo season?
Yeah, let's talk about that because we've had a big problem with armadillos on our farms.
Humongous, really.
We've killed
3.
How many? 3 in the last 2 weeks, maybe.
2 weeks, yeah.
My dad killed one. You killed one. I killed one. Armadillo in Tennessee are expanding drastically. We have got to. All of us hunters have got to get together and start eliminating some of these animals because they not only tear your ground all to heck, but they eat turkey eggs. I mean,
yeah. So we have them to worry about now, but
there is no dates that you can kill those year round. There's no limit.
And at night too. It's legal at night too.
It's legal to kill them at night. I believe. Don't take this to the bank. Contact TWRA and make sure that they tell you what's correct. But I believe you can shoot them with bows at night. I don't know about how the gun situations work because I think it might depend on where you're at, city limits, whatnot.
Yeah.
But
Please don't do it in city limits.
yeah, don't. Just don't.
Yeah, just don't do that.
Also, you have to be really careful with using artificial lights at night.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to try to kill them in the evening times with our bows.
Yeah, that's going to be our best bet.
We're going to get on Amazon and order a bunch of real cheap arrows. As cheap as you can find.
Yeah, just if you do shoot one, I really do recommend don't just do an arrow you don't care about, because you really don't want to go over there and grab it. They have all sorts of diseases, and they're really just not good. If you have blood on an arrow or something, I'd leave it. I left mine. Kevin wants his. He wants it bad. I don't care that much.
I'm going to get it eventually.
But he also does have a G5 Mega Meat on the end of it, with a $5 arrow at the end of it.
Yep.
So, and a couple cent vanes, We're cheap, but we're not that cheap, He has $50 broadheads, and I have $2 broadheads. I just don't care that much in reality. But just be careful whatever you do. Contact TWRA. Find out if you're in a different state, figure out what it is for you. That's that. We want to do a hog hunt before at some time.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get onto that and figure out where we need to go, which direction, and
know anybody in Tennessee, preferably, that does hog hunts.
Not high fenced.
Not high fenced. Yeah,
not high
that
fenced.
One. And maybe be able to use bows too. I
would rather use a bow.
A bow.
You said something I said something that reminded me of something else. I said we don't know where we want to go.
Yeah.
That reminded me. We talked to the Louisiana Cypress Smokehouse guys.
Oh yeah.
Before we done the last podcast, and they mentioned us coming to Louisiana and hunting some hogs. I just want to talk about them for just a second.
Yeah.
So those guys, man, I reached out to those guys and just asked them if they'd be interested in sponsoring a podcast or whatnot. Immediately got back with me, kept their word on everything they said, and have reached out to me over time, while we've been kind of laid off, and just been great guys throughout the whole process. If you listen back to our podcast, if you follow us on Facebook, whatever, you notice there was a time frame to where we had some sponsors.
Yes.
Well, we kind of got out of that, and I'm going to tell you why.
We don't need to point no fingers or nothing, really.
Yeah, I'm not knocking anybody in particular, but I will say this. If you cannot keep your word, then you can't do them. You have nothing.
No.
And I'm not going to point fingers, but I will say this. All of the sponsors that we had, none of them kept their word except for Louisiana Cypress Smokehouse.
And still, in my opinion, the best jerky I've ever eaten.
Oh, for sure.
Life.
For sure. And I need to contact those guys and place another order for some of that, because I really do want some.
I do too. I think about it almost every day. Every time I go to dollar store or something, they got them little like the rolls almost. They're like Slim Jims almost, kind of. But
it's just not going to compare.
Get a Slim Jim, nothing. This is just pure goodness.
Yeah. So Louisiana Cypress Smokehouse, we're not teamed up. They're not sponsoring this podcast, but I want to tell you they are great people. And if you need some jerky or if you want some jerky, that is the place to go. Contact those guys. They'll get you taken care of. Best jerky I've ever ate. And who knows? Maybe we'll work together again someday.
Hopefully.
I know they reached out to me again not long ago, just checking on us, see how we were.
Didn't he have a child, or what happened?
Yeah, one of them had a kid. Not 3, 4, 5 months ago, something like that.
Ago.
Not very long ago. But they're great people.
Yes.
But the hunting industry as a whole can be deceiving.
Yes.
If you're not careful, I'm trying to be careful with my words with this too, but I really kind of just want to let loose, but I'm not going to be that way. If you're not careful, people take advantage of you. That didn't happen in our situation. It just, people didn't keep their word. So, With that being said, we no longer have sponsors. Don't need them. Didn't do this to get sponsors. Don't need any help. But just be careful if you're getting into this stuff and you're kind of dabbling in sponsors. Just be very, very careful with how you do things and who you work with, and make sure you know that person before you agree to doing anything, because you can get taken advantage of pretty quick.
Yeah.
But we're in a better position now than we've ever been as a
Group,
what would you call
community?
us? A group, or our channel's doing great. Everything's doing great. We don't do this for money, obviously. We work full time. You don't yet, but you will.
I need a job. Anybody that's hiring,
You need a sponsor, don't you?
I do.
We work full time. We don't do this for the money. It's all for fun and our family, and we want our family to be able to look back at this stuff and listen to it and enjoy it, and that's why we do it. But yeah. So on to the next one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any questions I'd have for that, but I think you filled in all the boxes.
Yeah, I hope we kept it pretty vague. I didn't want to. I'm not, like I said, I'm not pointing fingers, but you can do your homework. You can go back and kind of listen to our podcast and paint your own picture about however you want to paint it. And I'm sure some of those guys will listen to stuff. And ain't no hard feelings. I don't dislike any of them, but there's a few of them I'll never work with again.
Yeah,
for sure.
We could name their names, but we're not like that. We just, if you don't, the hunting community is really supposed to be one community and help a brother out type. The way I see it, if I see another man wearing camo, or like a brand like Mossy Oak, or I see like a G5 sticker on the back of a car, I think that's a brother right there. I know him. He's cool. I could be friends with him. But if you're going to be somebody like that and be almost fake in a way of just low down, and the dog don't be quiet.
Hope the noise cancellation works on this.
I do too, yeah. I was hearing him for a little bit. I was wondering what it was.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be just... The dog's about to get on my nerves. But if you're going to be part of the hunting community, just in reality, we're all in one community. We're
supposed to be a team.
Yeah, we're a team. Just be a team player. Help it. I mean, it's really hard to say it. Everybody's not trying to be mean.
It seems like a lot of people, I say a lot, not a lot. There's certain people that are out for themselves, and I've never been that way. I've always been a team player, and I'll take a loss myself to try to help somebody else.
Yeah.
And some of your favorite people that you watch on TV, you could message them and they can read your message. And I know they got thousands of messages, whatever. But they have 5 seconds to take the time out of their day to give you a piece of advice or whatnot, or to acknowledge you. And most of them won't do that. And the problem is because we as people have gave these guys and girls a platform to make them think that they're better than the next man, and that's not the case. However, a lot of the people is not like that, but there are a certain few that are. And I feel like we just need to do a better job as a community at identifying these people and kind of washing them off and getting rid of them, because at the end of the day, hunting is about the brotherhood. Like Michael Waddell would say, it's about the brotherhood. So let's keep it that way.
Yeah. We really don't need to be sending hate to these people. We don't need to be like commenting on their videos, being like, you're fake, you don't hunt.
Yeah, we don't operate that way.
No, we don't do that. It's just, if you want to stay away from them, stay away from them. But just keep that in your mind whenever you do figure this stuff out, and just don't send hate to them. I mean, they're humans, but just know they're not going to be part of our group of brotherhood,
Yep, is what it is. And if you got any questions about this, reach out to us. If you happen to hear this and you think this might pertain to you, feel free to reach out to us. Love to hear what you got to say.
Yes.
With that being said, You ready to wrap it up?
I'm ready to wrap it up.
All right, guys. Get out in the woods. I'm sure we will talk to you guys again before archery season kicks off the last Saturday of September here in Tennessee.
I guess that's what we said the other time, too, and we just kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
If we don't, remind us, please.
Yeah, if we don't, let us know that you want to hear it again.
Spam us.
Like I said, there's some pretty cool stuff in the works here at Petty Outdoors.
Yes.
You will definitely want to follow our YouTube and subscribe.
Go follow.
Click the bell icon because you want to get notified when this stuff comes out.
Follow Timberwolf Archery.
Timberwolf Archery and Outdoors.
What was their All Around Outdoors?
All Around Outdoors on Spotify.
Yeah.
Another awesome podcast. They are the sole reason that I wanted to come
They're the
back
reason
out.
we're out here now.
Yep. So get on there and check them guys out. And if you need a bowstring, you need arrows, go to Timberwolf Archery and Outdoors.
Yep. And the reason we cleaned off this desk because it was a clutter.
Well, next time, guys, we are going to have Brian with us. Hate that we missed him tonight, but we will start working on this hunting stuff a little more.
Yep.
And we will talk to y'all next time. Until then, everybody be safe. Get in the woods. Go hunt some squirrels or something. And we'll talk to you soon.